Welcome back to HR Matters with Adelaide Matlejwane. In this week's episode, we are going to discuss how to prepare a professional ATS-friendly CV. Have you ever wondered why you have not been responded to in all the applications that you have done, even if you actually met the minimum requirements? That is because your CV has been rejected 6 seconds after your application. And the reason for this is because it is being looked at by a robot before it actually gets to a human being. For your information, companies are now using ATS to pre-screen applications, both locally, which is South Africa, and globally. Let's talk about what makes a CV ATS friendly. The CV must be one column, no boxes, no tables, no graphics in that CV. Just remember that ATS reads from top to bottom, and it also reads from left to right. No headers and no footers. Please take into cognizance that it is very important to format your CV correctly for ATS to be able to read it. So some of the things that you would need to take cognizance of is your fonts, for instance, and the safe ones are Calibri, Arial, and Helvetica. Then the font size must be at least between 10 and 12 points for the body and 14 points for the header. The margins must be 1 inch and the spaces must be between 1 and 1.15. Please remember that no emojis and no icons in that standard format. Next, you must use simple headings. So the first heading is your professional summary. ATS won't be able to read my professional journey or where my career journey is. So you need to make sure that you put it down as a professional summary, skills, experience, education, and certificates. So those are your headings that you need to have on your CV for ATS to be able to read it. Match keywords exactly. Actually, you need to mirror the job advert. Do not use synonyms because ATS reads based on the job advert. Dates must be very clear, in chronological order, and the latest date must be at the top. The file type must be Microsoft Word. It is the safest, or PDF. Please do not apply with scanned copies of your CV. ATS will not be able to read any scanned copies. Let us look at an example of an ATS-friendly CV. We have a CV for Cleopatra Funes, and let's just go through what we discussed earlier. So the first thing that you need to do, remember that the CV must be one column, and then the name and the surname, as per your ID, it must be right at the top. Let us look at an example of an ATS-friendly CV. We have a CV for Cleopatra Funes, and let's just go through what we discussed earlier. So the first thing that you need to do, remember that the CV must be one column, and then the name and the surname, as per your ID, it must be right at the top. Let's look at a CV. Practical example of how your CV should look like. Remember that your CV needs to be in one column. So the first thing on that is the names. So the CV that we have, it's for Cleopatra Funes. The names must be as per ID document or as per your identification. First name, second name, and your last name. So here, Cleopatra has put down her residential area, not the address. Her residential area is in Pimville, Soweto. Under that, still, we have contact details that are clear, and we also have the email address. If you have any other social media address, you can also put it under that. So Cleopatra has actually put down her telephone number, her email address, and her LinkedIn link. So the next section is about professional summary. So this would tell you about the character that you are. And in this case, Cleopatra's professional summary is that she is a results-driven registered counselor. She has experience across healthcare, mental health care, NGOs, and also in the education sector. She also has a collaborative mindset and is ethical in her work. The next section is then about your core skills. So the core skills, what is important about them is that they must be grouped. So you have technical core skills, you've got industry core skills, and you also have soft skills that you need to have. So if you look at Cleopatra's technical skills are assessments and screening, intervention case management, documentation, ethics and compliance. She also has the industry knowledge that runs across primary mental health, education, which is schools, TVET colleges and universities, and NGO and community. On the soft skills, Cleopatra has relational presence, communication, and self-management. So now we go on to professional experience. With this, now you really have to say, what is it that you have done? It is important that you put the title of the job, which is current. Remember, I said in chronological order, so you start with the latest job or the current job that you are at. Let's look at Cleopatra. Cleopatra is currently a trainee counselor at the South African Depression and Anxiety Group, SADC. She started in March 2025 until now. So it is also important that you put the month and the year. Cleopatra's professional experience, currently she is a trainee counselor. She is working for the South African Depression and Anxiety Group. She started in March 2025 until now. It's important that you have the title, the company, and the dates. And remember what I said earlier, that it must be in chronological order. So we start with the latest job where she is now on the calendar. So we also look at what she does on a day-to-day basis. So provide helpline and crisis support to individuals in distress. What she is also put down is that she takes about 50 to 20 callers per shift and achieves a 98% safe plan completion. So with this, you're able to quantify what Cleopatra does on a daily basis. So it shows you the number of calls that she takes, and it also shows you what is the hit rate or the success rate in her daily job. So with this, ATS and also the human beings that will read it after the ATS will be able to see what you can deliver as an individual. Then Cleopatra delivers information, education and emotional support, and then she also delivers psycho education packs and referrals to about 200 plus clients across 9 provinces. So that also shows you that the number of packs that she can do across what geographical areas as well. It also shows whoever that's going to be reading the CV after IETS what she is really capable of. Cleopatra also facilitates referrals and ensures follow through for clients. She participates in community outreach and awareness initiatives. So that is just her professional experience since she has started working. So with the professional experience, you can see that I've limited it to 5 bullet points. Just remember that you can go up to 8, but more than that, it will be a killer. The second job, which is where she was a library assistant for the tertiary institution that she attended, also has the 5 points. It is the job title, it is the dates, and it also has the company that she worked for and the 5 bullet points of what she did. So the next heading is education. So it shows that Cleopatra has a B applied social science degree, honors, which is the one that she finished last. And she has a undergrad of psychology and counseling, which has both completed at the South African College of Applied Psychology. It has the dates. So what is important on this part is that you must have the qualification, the institution that you completed your qualification, and also the date that your qualification was completed. The next section is certifications. So if you have any certifications or you're registered with any professional body, this is where you put it in. In this case, Cleopatra is registered with the Health Professional Council of South Africa as a registered counsellor, and she got this registration in 2026. So it is current, and she can use it for a year. So the last information is just additional information. This then talks to languages. For instance, Cleopatra can speak English, Zulu, and Sesotho, and she can be conversant fairly in Afrikaans. She is available in 1 month because she's been in a job for more than a year, and she has a driver's license. Let us recap on common mistakes to avoid. No Canva design on CVs, no infographic, no columns, no graphs, no bars, no rating dots, no charts, no QR codes, no fancy formatting, no logos, and no emojis. No headers and footers with contact details, and do not save as JPEG or pages. Just save it as a Word document or PDF. Thank you so much for tuning in. We hope that this episode was informative and it will assist you in your future applications. You won't be returned. You will be contacted because ATS would have read your properly formatted CV. We look forward to your comments. If you have any questions, please go to the comment section. Otherwise, you can subscribe and like. See you in the next episode. Thank you. Adelaide Matlejwane, HR Matters.